Woof woof! Hello everybody, Shuffle Woof here, with a new album review. Today we will be discussing the new FLATROOM album, You Will Only Get Older. FLATROOM is a Michigan-based hyperpop and indie artist who started releasing music in January of 2023 with their Bandcamp EP, FLATROOM Before the Flood. Here, FLATROOM showcased a mix of indie songwriter and hyperpop tracks. I like the writing all across this project. You Will Only Get Older, their debut LP, builds on all of the sounds from their 2023 EP in a big way. Their production skill has developed to be quite polished over the past 2 years. Starting with the intro track, You Just Have to Be There, we get a serene melody led by some organic chimes. The water sounds add to the pretty ambience, which is broken to give us a delightful vocoder passage. It is a subtle but beautiful intro that leads right into the first true banger. Chill Your Competitor opens up with some bright EDM influence before going into a light hyper-pop beat with soft pads and effective vocals. It definitely feels a bit Porter Robinson for fans of him. The writing here is great. I love how FLATROOM depicts Spite in the lyrics. We end with an energetic synth solo, quite the flip-flop. Blood Sugar, featuring CMPEN and so keeps the hyper-energy going with more video game and MIDI influence. FLATROOM also lacing in some nice little piano parts into the instrumental. I love how emotional the vocals are here, especially when FLATROOM goes for an almost yelp delivery. The bass feels huge, and the track only gets more distorted and textured as it glitches out completely at the end. Very creative. Christmas Classic, featuring So Goes, for a light, clicky beat with a piano lead. FLATROOM's sound design is just as interesting here as it has been on other tracks, and I like that the Christmas bells match the concept of the title, but I do wish the song were a little longer. Regardless, FLATROOM sounds like they are having fun, especially with a carefree, Fraction-esque vocal delivery they try here. Very nice. It's Not Me, featuring Shifting Perspectives, cranks the energy back up with some aggressive acid synths, rounding things out with some 100x level 808s. The emotional vocals sell this one for me, and I love how the beat switches and gets more lively and club-like in the second half. This one is the shortest track on the record, and while it does feel like it could have developed a bit further, it is still very pleasant while it is on. We then go right into the longest track on the record, I Don't Even Need, which is the first of a few tracks that touches on FLATROOM's indie sensibilities. Against light acoustics and pretty synth flutes, FLATROOM delivers vocals that are nothing short of gorgeous. I am floored by the writing and melodies. Midway through we get some ambient pads and a monologue before building with some passionate vocals and distorted guitars. We release with a huge EDM breakdown complete with beautiful pads and arpeggiators. The ending, to me, rings very Phoebe Bridgers with how FLATROOM writes and delivers it. What a lovely song about moving on. When the stars go blue, tones things down even more, it being an acoustic-led indie ballad with equally gorgeous vocal melodies and writing. I love how delicate this one feels, especially on the chorus. This track keeps things simple, only adding pianos and some drums subtly, but it is still a pretty highlight with how comforting and heartfelt the lyrics are. Orange Show Speedway, featuring Glitch Gum, is the last high-energy banger in the track list. I love how it mixes its initial trance-like pads with harder hitting indie rock sounds, the chorus drop hitting with huge electric guitars and drums. The songwriting shines brightly on this one. I love FLATROOM's retrospective storytelling about a relationship they had when they were younger. A bright but sentimental pop. The next track, Sweet Dreams, Tux, is easily the most intimate on the album. It is so stripped back it veers into being indie folk and almost feels like a demo, FLATROOM only singing over an acoustic guitar. I appreciate this one for how delicate and dark it is. Fans of Doty's demos would definitely enjoy this. My only issue is that it is mixed quite quietly compared to the rest of the album, and stylistically it does stick out somewhat when compared to the electronic and indie tracks we get with the rest of the record. This is not to minimize the quality of this track, of course, even if I personally feel it interrupts the flow of the last leg somewhat. It is still beautiful, and FLATROOM is still delivering gorgeous melodies in a rawer setting. The final track on this album, I'll Find Them Someday, picks things up with some cute chimes, light acoustics, and a bossa nova beat. Through lovely melodies, FLATROOM is giving us great writing about growing up past an abusive relationship. The lightness of the production puts a welcome spotlight on the writing and vocal performance, which is all done very well. Acclaimed, high-quality outro. Overall, I came out very impressed with FLATROOM's work on this debut project. This album definitely has two personalities, FLATROOM playing with HYPERPOP more in the first half and Indie more in the second, but they are able to do it all with flying colors. Their writing, vocals, and production sensibilities speak for themselves and are nothing short of fun and beautiful. I am very glad I stumbled upon this record, and I am now a huge fan. FLATROOM, you shuffled my woofs. Woof woof.